From Vegas, Genting will finally start work on its $4 billion mega resort casino after a 2-year delay. The group has gotten the approval from the Nevada Gaming Control Board to become a publicly traded company there. Work on the Chinese-themed resort is expected to start in earnest in the fourth quarter of this year. It will open in 2019. Genting bought a 35-hectare chunk of the strip in 2008 for $350 million, and observers had initially expected construction to start in 2014. It only broke ground last May. Malaysia Building Society Berhad or MBSB is still dreaming of meeting its perfect match despite going through 2 merger flops. MBSB says its next merger target doesn't have to be an Islamic bank. It's open to merging with conventional lenders if it can convert the license to be able to operate an Islamic bank. Last year, MBSB had to call off merger talks with CIMB and RHB Capital, citing unfavourable economic conditions. It held talks with Bank Muamalat to create the country's biggest standalone Islamic bank, but that also fell through earlier this year. Tabung Haji is reportedly looking to sell the London head office of law firm King & Wood Milsons. According to a report, one of Tabung Haji's investment managers, Gatehouse Bank, has hired a broker to find a buyer for the building, which is expected to sell for about £200 million or 1.2 billion ringgit. It had purchased the building for £165 million or about 960 million ringgit. The Pilgrims Fund, like other state funds, has been selling real estate overseas, heeding a call by Putrajaya to bring back capital and invest more at home. Last year, it sold an office block in London, 151 Buckingham Palace Road, for about £250 million or 1.5 billion ringgit. That's 22% more than it paid for the property. DRB Hicom is calling off a plan to sell its 90% stake in Singapore's Corwin Holding for 317 million Singapore dollars, roughly 965 million ringgit. Last December, the group said its unit Hicom Megah was disposing of its interest in Corwin to Corwin's minority shareholders. But these shareholders were unable to fulfill certain contractual obligations, so the deal is off. DRB Hicom had expected to net a disposal gain of 427.5 million ringgit from the sale of the stake. It would have cut its gearing ratio from 0.91 times based on financial year ending March 2015 to 0.83 times. Here's a piece of news that's probably going to send our already angry cabbies into a tizzy. Ride-sharing platform Grab, formerly known as MyTaxi, has launched a new carpooling service called DrbHicom, which pairs drivers heading to a specific location with passengers who want to hitch a ride to the same place. So say if you live in Kelana Jaya and you want to go to your office in Mutiara Damansara, you pre-book your ride with Grab, which then pairs you with someone who's headed that way and has extra space in their car. Your fare is calculated based on distance and includes petrol and car depreciation costs. So the person who's doing the driving gets a bit of money to help offset the cost of his or her journey, while you, the passenger, pay for a fraction of what you would have paid for a cab ride.